Rowe from Sierra Bright Dot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I've been teaching, guiding, writing, and lecturing on fly fishing since 1982. Well, let's get to this week's fly fishing report. Well, afternoon thunderstorms are always great. They make for great pictures in the afternoon, but they also get you wet and they help out the fishing. And particularly for fly fishermen, they put the hatches into the river and they put terrestrials into the river. Makes for better fishing. It's what we call wet fly fishing. Okay, let's get to Upper Owens River. Well, it's primarily a morning fishery, and in the mornings we're out there around 8 o'clock, maybe even a little early. Be ready for the mosquitoes because they're hanging around to about 9 or 10. But what we're really looking for are the trico hatch, and it's coming off in the mornings about 8:30 and runs till about 10. Starts off as a dun pattern, and then it goes from the dun into the spinner. When the spinner falls on the water, that's when we're doing really good, and we're fishing with a size 22 or 24 trico spinner pattern. And then at the end of the trico hatch, there's been a caddis hatch, and it's coming off about a size 18. And the last time I fished, I didn't see it, but I still would be ready to fish with the caddis pattern because it's still around. Okay, let's go over to Hot Creek. It's fishing great. We're fishing in the interpretive site with dry flies, and it's got a lot of weeds in the water, but you just got to work around the weeds, fish the narrow little channels, or fish the open pockets that are out there. And in the interpretive site, there's a lot more open pockets and areas to fish. And we're fishing tricos in the morning, followed by blue-wing olives, followed by caddis. But the blue-wings and caddis are a little erratic. They're not out there every day. So be ready for them, and don't be surprised if you don't see them. Down in the canyon, the weeds are really bad, and just be aware that's the big problem down in the canyon. Okay, over to Crawley Lake. Guys are finally starting to fish in shallower water, 20 feet or less, because the fish have moved up into the shallows. And the fishing's getting better and easier to fish. And same old patterns out there. They're using black and copper, black and silver, gray, and the albino baron, which is a wine-colored midge pattern. And they're fishing anywhere from 3 inches to 4 feet off the bottom. All right, let's go down the hill to the Lower Owens. It's dropped down to 150 CFS, and by noon, we got to institute a hoot owl there, which means we're protecting the fish, because if we release them when the water's better than 70 degrees, they won't survive, or their chances of survival are really low. So by noon, we'll quit fishing on the Lower Owens. But in the morning, I'm using my Euro rod, and I'm fishing out there, and I'm nymphing, and I'm using the stoner nymph and the olive quildagon on the bottom and a batano up on top, and that's producing a fair number of wild brown trout. Well, over to Bishop Creek Canal, same problem. By noon, we're instituting the hoot owl, and I've quit fishing there once the water temperature gets over 70 degrees. And yes, I'm carrying a thermometer and checking the water temperature starting around 3:30-ish. And I'm fishing stoneflies, and I'm fishing the green gold wire prince nymph in there for the wild browns. Well, that's this week's fly fishing report, brought to you by Sierra Bright Dot Fly Fishing, and I can be found on Instagram and on Facebook, and I can be found on my webpage at sierrabrightdot.com, and also look us on Skippable News on YouTube.